Looks like it's that time of the month, folks. Update notification. It's not that impressive this time. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Let's do it.
Let the lesson begin.
Hey guys, Akariss here, bringing you another Fire Emblem Heroes video. Today's video is usually my favorite time of the month because of update notifications. However, today's update notif is not that interesting. And what I mean by this is there's not really anything for this coming month compared to the last few months, the anniversary, and Book 5. We really had some solid quality of life changes or pretty impactful things that happen in the game. So, you know, among Celestial Stones, some pretty really cool refines and such. I'd put this one on the lower spectrum of interesting, but I will provide my thoughts on it and of course get you guys up to date. So yeah, let's start. First up is our Ephemera Change. Now we have Ardul Infantry 3, which pops out to me, and I believe he also has a Rally Plus on Hellbindy, so that's pretty good. Definitely a pretty solid freebie. However, I feel like Noir has literally nothing. I think she has Infantry Rush, like she was the first unit with this, so that's a pretty disappointing 5-star, and probably won't even end up picking that up because both Felix and Keaton show up this month. So to effectively get Hellbindy, Noir, Felix, and Keaton, you would need 800 ephemera codes. And I believe we've only really had this happen once, like on anniversary month or something. So I'm really doubtful that we'll be able to pick up everything. But honestly, your best bet would probably be Hellbindy, Felix, Ileana, and like Keaton as like solid ephemera pickups. And Noir might not be the greatest of choices unless you like are one of the few unicorns who are merging a Noir. So pretty it's okay. Like Hellbindy's a pretty solid addition given to us. Now the big kind of change I believe that's happened here is the addition of the best skills quality of life. Now this is, I feel like it should have been in the game since the beginning kind of change, if you ask me. I mean, this is good, but I feel like it applies to someone who might be just starting out and might be overwhelmed by the amount of skills and such. Basically, it's just going to put the highest level, like you can turn it on and off, it's going to put the highest level of those skills as options for choosing your characters. This is pretty good if you have characters who have like thousands or hundreds of skills or whatever, so you can just kind of filter through the skills much faster, but it's not really a gameplay change. It's not really like, it's just a nice thing. The barracks thing was huge for organization. This is just like, okay, I guess, you know, it's whatever. Anyways, let's just go into refines because there's really not much to talk about when it comes to best skills versus all skills. It's a whatever change. It's cool, but it's long overdue if anything. All right, so no surprises honestly from this list here, like none at all. Actually, maybe Katria not being here is probably the interesting part, or maybe it's just delayed. It's cool that seasonals are finally getting refines one by one. There's also the 4-star in the form of Sothe, so technically it's good, we're getting through it, but as a Fjorm user, and anyone who's a Dorcas user, and probably a Grima user as well, you're probably disappointed, as I am here. So no Fjorm, she has to suck for who knows how many more months. And no healer refines, no 3-4-star healer refines, not even the 5-stars like Maribel or Mikoto who might be coming up soon. So for me, it's more of a sleeper set of refines personally. I mean, the most hopeful thing from this is probably Sothe, just because he's widely available, or to a lesser extent Fallen Takumi. He has a fairly interesting and unique weapon, so they could maybe enhance that further. But if you're like me, you probably foddered every copy of Fallen Takumi that you got for Fury 3. Because back then, Fury 3 was pretty hard to come about. So yeah. We'll go into it once we see it, but this refined badge is pretty predictable, and to me, not that interesting. Next up is another sort of quality of life changes in the form of ether raids. I'll cover PL in a moment, but ether raids here, basically the visibility of the danger area is more prominent now, especially when you're selecting units and such. That's important because even I've kind of gone into my match and like completely forgot that, you know, like a range cav would reach the starting zone. Even though I designed many maps with that intention, it still kind of throws me off once, and you know, once every couple of months I'm like, oh yeah, shoot, I don't have that much space. So this is great as a visual reminder that you should be careful selecting your team, making sure you have enough space, or that certain units can tank things on turn one. So again, a solid quality of life change. Doesn't really change the game, but definitely helps stop those oopsies that many of us might have done. POL getting another tier. The more interesting part of this is how do they change the rewards from 10 to 11? So do we, because there was already a sort of gap between 9 and 10, like there was 1,000 feathers, I believe. So I'm curious to see what they do here for tier 11 in terms of like the reward gap, if it's going to be like another big jump or just a small thing. Either way, it will be fairly competitive like the first 2 weeks or so, but I could see them actually adding tiers maybe every month or two, so that could like create further engagement in Ponza Loki, which is a good or bad thing depending on how you feel about the mode. I'm fairly indifferent because it's not like Fire Emblem. I've never played Fire Emblem for the auto chess aspect of it, so for me this is less interesting. But if you like the mode, then at least it'll keep you more engaged than what it is now for sure. Okay, yeah, so short and sweet, folks. That's pretty much this month's update, and that's why the video has to be as short as it is, because at the end of the day, there's not really that much to cover. I am probably most excited about Hellbindy being our Rally Plus at the end of the day, and I guess the Ephemeras for Keaton or Felix if you haven't built them yet, especially Felix, who's pretty solid both in AR and Arena as an option, but we are likely due for a BST increase. So he could fall off if we get a pretty similar option by the end of the year. Who knows? Either way, this is more of a sleeper month until we get maybe the July or August bigger summer updates. And with that being said, I'll cover refines when that happens, and maybe the midpoint banner with Not in a Dark Mythic that could definitely shake things up quite a bit. With, of course, me giving you whatever perspective and tips, guides that I could with that. Okay guys, that's it from me. Thank you for watching as always. Just like the color blue here, turn the thumbs up exactly that. So if you haven't already, if you like the content, you want to continue supporting what we do, then check out the Patreon. You can sign up there and that gives you Discord access, plus plenty of other smaller goodies. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. See you in the next one. Much love.
It's over.